construction, day 178.
So I got up today at the crack of dawn and took a bunch of still photos from our ring that's looking out on our property. So today's intro is going to be this morning's sunrise. Enjoy. So today we got 5 guys working on grouting the pool. We got 1 guy down there. So they are doing the mixture. So it's 1 bag of the grout and 1 bottle of the waterproofer. So they're doing a little at a time. And what they did first thing this morning is they just took this one area and they really wiped it clean. And then they're going through with just a hacksaw blade and just making sure that there's no cement inside the crevices. So they're just taking that hacksaw blade and just going through and making sure it's all cleaned out, which is good. And then we got 1 guy doing the bullnose. So he's starting to put that grout and waterproofer in the joint, and then a couple guys, they're all working in the same area because again they said that just sets up pretty quick. So they're making just a little batch at a time, not even a full bag. I mean, they're using like 20% of a bag and then just a little bit of the waterproofer, not even a full bag. You can see just that little bit that they created, and then they're just grouting like normal. Now I did feel this, it's very sticky. You can see it dries very quickly. See how quick that dries? Now if that was normal grout, because I've been grouting all morning, you just touch it and it comes off. But here, you know, you definitely have to work it to get off. So they got a guy going right behind. So 1 guy's grouting and 1 guy's going right behind cleaning the joint immediately. What I normally do is when I grout, I let it sit overnight. And then I come back the next morning and it comes off no problem at all. But when you have the waterproofer in there, that's a game changer. That it dries very, very quickly. And then we got 1 guy doing the bullnose right here. He's putting the concrete in at the right amount. And then we have a Disco here. Disco is going through, that's my nickname, because after he works all day, he gets all cleaned up like he's going out to a disco when he leaves. He always brings clean clothes. Right? That's his nickname, Disco. So he's going through and just shaping it and getting it all cleaned up as well. So he's trailing the guy who's actually putting in the grout. And then the same thing here, a guy grouting and a guy trailing, cleaning. So it's definitely time sensitive, and it's a hot day. It's a very sunny day. You can see how blue the skies are. So that's even making the grout dry even quicker. But see, it's a very thick paste, as you can see. So they're just working it in. It's nice and white. Now what I'm going to do is I have several bottles of the green top. So this is the blue top. This is what you mix in with the grout, the blue top. But then the green top is what you you don't have to, but I'm going to. Once this is all dried and completed, so like tomorrow, I'm gonna go through and use the green bottle to waterproof this again, like I've done with the shower in Wilma's garden for her water spigot. I'm going to go in behind and waterproof all the bullnose. I'm not going to do all these joints. but I'm going to do all the bullnose with another waterproofing. So that's what they're working on today. A very sunny day. So Gamai is officially completed with all the skim coat. So he's a real perfectionist. I think I've said that several times. He's new to the site, and he's really did a nice job with this front beam. I mean, it even looks like it's painted white as I walk across. Really looks nice. So he got this completed, and the contractor was up here, and I said, hey, I got a little project for him inside the spare bathroom. Do you mind if I put him in there? He said, no, not at all. So I'm going to go show you what I have Gamai working on. All right, so I have Gamai working on more grouting. So I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but in several videos, look at the grout there. As I get closer, see how it's a light brown? But if you look over here, like right there, it's a lighter tan. And we've been scratching our head on that because it's the same brand, same color. Now, grout doesn't come in batches, so it's not that we bought the wrong batch. But you can see, and he already started pulling it out, but you can see it's a lighter color. It's just a different color. So when you stood here, and I'm wondering if any of you guys caught it or not. So here's a piece right here. You see this right here? Now he's got to dig that out. It's just a lighter color. So the majority of the room was that light brown look. Either one looks good. So what we did is we did a sample because it's been driving me crazy. This wall right here was the lighter color. And you can see that, you know, they were using one bag over here, and then when they got to over here, they must have switched to a different bag because it was a different color. So what Gamai did today was he pulled all this grout out, and it didn't take him that long. And he's a real perfectionist. What he's doing is he's taking the grout out and re-grouting and cleaning all in one step. So he just gets a little ahead of himself, and then he goes back and cleans it all up. So this guy knows what he's doing, for sure. New guy on the work site. So he's just going around, and even right here, this was all very light color, lighter than this. So we looked at the grout itself, and this is what we've been buying. Master, and it says 002 beige. So we've been scratching our head as to why. So one bag must have been different. Maybe it was packaged wrong, because we went and checked all the bags that they used, and they didn't use like the cream color or the gray or the dark brown. And that's what we thought. We thought that they used dark brown here by mistake, but they didn't, because they saved the bags and it was beige. So definitely a little strange. So a little bit of redo, and he's been in here maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and he got all this completed. And then now he's just working on here, on top of the wall here. And then I think there's a little bit to do over here. Here's a good look. See this right here? It's a different color. This is different from this, or this is different from this. So this is all coming out because we don't have this grout on site, and we're putting in this light brown. So again, I've been staring at it for a couple of weeks. I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, but today Gamai is going to get this all the same color. Typhoon Wilma has been at it again. Look at the floor. Look how good it looks. Now there's still some a little bit of paint that's still on this that needs to be cleaned up. The guys will do that shortly, but it looks a lot better than it has. So they worked on the ceiling. I'm satisfied with the ceiling here in the master, so we're calling this complete. They went ahead and did some touch-ups They still have to paint the walls yet. We have a gallon of the sand dune, and it doesn't really look like it needs much. Just a couple spots here and there. I don't want to walk on the floor, but they're going to do some touch-ups here. They did do touch-ups once again in the walk-in closet, and I did reach out to the closet maker, and they're going to be installing Wilma's walk-in closet on Thursday. So next Thursday, because of the rain, they've been delayed, and they said that they'll be up here on Thursday, and there's a bee flying by me, and install Wilma's closet. So that's going to be a big day. But now we're very close. Once we get the touch-ups of the wall, and Wilma mops the floor 6 more times, we can start moving some furniture. We got to work on the window. That needs to be cleaned. We do need to get all the covers off and vacuum all that out. That still needs to happen. We still need to pull the plastic from the windows here. The other side of the house is done. So there's still some work to be done, but definitely this side is looking almost finished. All right, so my man Gino, and Gino's been here from the beginning. And you probably see him walking around. And the first, say, 5.5 months, he's spoken maybe 6 words to me. But lately, we're talking much, much more. And I asked him today, I said, has he ever met a foreigner that he's built a house for that has worked as hard as me? And he said no. So I owe him 1,000 pesos for that, for those kind words. But he's a man of very few words. But he has many, many skills. And what he's doing today is he's going around with the white paint and just putting a coat all the way around. So when he does the last roll, when he puts the rolling on, he don't have to worry about getting too close to the walls. So that's what he's doing today, going all the way around. He added yet another layer of skim coat and just some spots. So that's drying, so you can see that it's a little on the tan side. That'll turn white overnight. He said he wanted to go over it one more time, and I said, no, not if you got to sand it. But he said it would be just a very light sand, so he's going to work on that tomorrow. But today he's just going around trying to get all the joints where it hits the wall all touched up real nice, because we want to get the ceiling 100%. Before we put any paint on these walls. So we have the paint here, but I don't want to get started on it until the ceiling is 100% complete. So tomorrow could be a big day. Like I said, contractor was up here today, and the foreman hasn't been here a few days. He's doing double duty. He's got another build, so he's spending a few days at the other build, a few days here. But my understanding is the foreman will be here tomorrow and Saturday, working on plumbing and working on the island. So my understanding is tomorrow, this island is going to be placed on the cabinet, and then he's going to cut out for the sink, and the sink is right there, ready to go, and the faucet is right over there. So he's going to work on that tomorrow. And then he's also going to be working on shaping the granite. And I was warned that it's going to create a lot of dust. But obviously this is square and it needs to be bull-nosed. So he's going to be working on that tomorrow. So let's wish us luck, and let's hope that we get this large piece up. We got plenty of guys to do it. We'll get about 8 guys around it to set it in place nice and easy, and then I'll do my best to film as much as possible. While I'm here, I figured I'd show you the faucet. I haven't taken that out of the box even to see it myself. But this is going to be our faucet, and it's got some fittings in here and the hose. But this is going to be the look. Looking nice. You can take this off. Let me switch hands. And you can swing it all different ways to clean or to fill a pot or whatever. So this is the style that Wilma wanted. This is the first time I'm looking at it as well. And we'll see how this looks installed in a few days. I got the sun right in my face. It's like a laser beam, so I'm going to have the sun to my back. So the sun is right on the camera, so I'm going to have a hard time showing this, but hopefully my finger is touching the grout line. So here is grouted. Here is not grouted. So you can see the nice white line. You can see the bullnose now taking shape. I mean, they're still working on shaping it, but look how good that looks. So, transition from the coping down to the blue, beautiful white. I mean, this sets up really quick. Looks really nice. They're working on it all the way around. So, looks like they grouted from here. That's not grouted. And they came across and they stopped about here. And then guy looks like he switched over to this side, and he's just now starting to grout this way. And it looks like they're working on the fourth step. So we had a comment. I want to explain the way we have this set up. Obviously this is a full tile, and then it goes to a partial tile because it went to a partial tile here because we wanted to keep the line going. So that makes sense. And then of course, all the benches, all the steps are mosaic, and all the rises are blue. So what we could have done, and we talked about this, and it was pointed out by a viewer. You see, we could have kept this wide and done this blue rise mosaic, and then come across here mosaic. We could have done that. But then it would have really broken up the blue. I realize there's a piece there, but that's going to be blue. Again, I can't see my hand, but the top portion of this is going to be blue to keep the running line here. And we did keep the running line going here, but just not this area, because we didn't want to have too much mosaic on the rises, because the original plan was to have all the steps that beautiful blue. So I hope that explains that. So we did keep a partial line going, the top line, which is the top of the bench, but we wanted to keep the rise of this bench blue and not have 3 tiles blue and 1 mosaic. We didn't think that was going to look good, so we stayed with the blue. So that's what we're doing, and it looks like they're working on the very last step. So they got this one completed, and they're working on the very last one. And I also believe that they're going to be working on the bar slash water feature here in the next day or two, as I think when they finish the steps, they're going to pull one guy from the team from grouting to work on the bar area. So I haven't talked about the water feature in a while. So you can see there's 2 spots that we have fittings coming out for our fountain. So here's what it looks like. And I bought 2 of these on Shopee. And my understanding is this is all brass. This is very heavy. And these weren't cheap because these are all brass. But these spray out, I believe, 1.5 meters out, both of them. And then at the end of the 1.5 meters, the spray will be 1 meter wide. So it'll be 1.5 meters out with a 1 meter wide spray, 2 of them side by side. You can adjust these all different ways. So if you don't want the fan to be horizontal, you want the fan to be vertical, you can turn it that way and adjust it. So these will be sticking out right here in 2 spots once they get installed. And then for new viewers, this is also going to double as a bar area. So as you can see, there's going to be a step here. So the concrete is going to continue out this way and be at the bottom of the coping. the 4-inch step. So there's always going to be a 4-inch step going around the pool, stepping up. And that's in case we get heavy rain. We don't want the rainwater to go into the pool. It would have to flood over 4 inches before it comes up on the coping. But here, since this is going to be a bar area and it's sealed off, it's going to come here and it's going to rise up. And it looks like it's about 6 inches. So it's going to rise up about 6 inches, so a 6-inch step. And then coming off of this concrete will be a concrete pad that I believe goes out 1.5 meters the whole length of the pool. And this is going to be for stools. We'll get, probably 4 stools in here. And they're going to start working this the next couple of days. So they still got to put some hollow block in here and build this up. And then flatten this all out, and then it looks like they're going to have to trim some tile. But once they get this all smoothed out, you can see they got some rebar sticking out of the hollow block just to have this inside wall be stable. And then we have a nice piece of granite that's going to go on top of this. And then we also have electric, so we can have a little mini fridge here underneath. And then the granite will stick out all the way out to here. So we'll have concrete with stools, granite top, little refrigerator. You could sit here, favorite beverage, and looking out at that. Do you remember Tom Hanks in Castaway? I think he used one of these to determine the winds. And you can see that it's blowing this way, which is south, because east is right there. So the wind is still coming from that hill, coming north. So I'm gonna have to make me a fancy one of these someday. But I've been catching myself up at the house watching this, and then it has dawned on me, hey, that reminds me of Castaway.